Good afternoon, students. Welcome to the live lecture of Real Analysis 1. In today's lecture, we are going to understand some basic notions of the paper Real Analysis 1. This is your second hardcore paper. Here I have written the name. You may check. HCT 1.2. Okay. What is HCT? This is hardcore theory. 1.2 tells you first semester, second compulsory paper, Real Analysis 1. In this Real Analysis 1 paper, yesterday I have shown you what is the syllabus also. Okay. In this paper, we have in all 4 units. First unit, Riemann integration. Second unit, Riemann-Stieltjes integration, multivariable differential calculus, and functions of many variables. These are the 4 units we are going to study under this paper of Real Analysis 1. Now, in today's lecture, we will just discuss some basic notions which are essential for us to understand this paper. I will start with very basic definition. Okay. Let me start with the first definition. What is set? Yes?
A set is well-defined collection of objects or elements.
Well-defined collection. Can you give me an example?
Let be
Set
the
A.
set of books in the library.
Very good.
Colors in rainbow.
Set,
Very good.
set of natural number.
Very good. Natural number, real number, rational numbers, everything. Now, can you tell me one example which is not a set? Examples I can write many. Na? If I want to write in mathematics, natural numbers, rational numbers, real numbers, complex numbers, integers, and so on. I want one counter example for this. Counter example means whatever is the collection you have which is not a set.
वर्गातील हुशार मुलांचा सेट म्हणजे
Very good.
नॉट डिफाईन करता येत नाही ना तसे एलिमेंट.
अच्छा, डिफाईन नाही करते असं तुमचं म्हणणं आहे, राईट? समजा मी असं डिफाईन केलं, all the students which are having percentage 90% and above, will it be a set then?
येस मॅम.
Yes, it is a set. Therefore, you have to define it clearly. Your definition of the corresponding characteristic should be very clear. The definition should be very clear. Therefore, let me write your example. Collection of all. Yes? Scholar students, shall I write? Scholar. In class. Any other example?
Brave students. Brave students in a class.
Yeah, this is can be replaced by brave also, because we cannot give a proper definition for bravery, right? Next. Yes, anyone? Married, beautiful girls in the class, right? No? Okay, therefore you should know clearly whatever is the characteristic we were using in order to have the collection. This characteristic must be clearly defined. This characteristic must be clearly defined. If it is not clear, as of here, brave, scholar, beautiful, this cannot be defined clearly, right? Then these are the examples of not set, counter examples rather, I can write. Okay. Next, bounded set or bounded. Or before that one can say finite and infinite set. What is finite set? What is infinite set?
Countable element has finite set. Uncountable element has the infinite set.
Uncountable element is not a concept actually. Countability, uncountability we were defining for a set, not for element. Countable is the later part actually. We will go to countable. Word later. Yes?
Finite element gives
Very
finite
correct.
set.
Yes, if the number of elements are finite, right? No? If number of elements are finite. Okay. For example,
Prime number 1 to 100. Prime
Yes,
number 1 to 100.
Prime numbers between 1 to 100. Collection of students in my class, MSc 1, 50 students, right? Finite sets. And how can I define infinite set? If the number of elements are
Infinite.
infinite. What are the examples?
Natural numbers.
Set of real numbers.
Set of natural number.
Yes, rational, real, everything. Now let me go for bounded set. A set, yes, if I have, when can I say that the set is bounded? Both for finite and for infinite as well. Yes?
Limit
Yes.
point exist.
Limit point. Till now we have not defined limit point, no? Limit point आपण घेतला नाही ना अजून. But limit point exists whether it is always bounded set, whether for every bounded set limit point exists.
If the set is bounded above and bounded below, then it is called bounded set.
Very good. Boundedness I can characterize into two parts: bounded below and bounded above. Correct na? Bounded above and bounded below. Now, if the set is both bounded below and bounded above, then it is called as a bounded set. Let me define what is bounded below. Suppose I have an element M which is less than or equals to every element X in S. Correct na? That is every element in the set S is greater or equal by fixed element, fixed scalar. Then the set is said to be bounded below, right? What for bounded above?
X is less than or equal to K.
Capital M, let me write that big, okay? X is less than or equals to some capital M for all X in S. Then we say that the set is bounded above. Let us combine both the inequalities. Can I write M less than or equals to X less than or equals to capital M? That is, every element of the set S lies between the two values, small m and capital M. And that's why this capital M is called as upper bound. Right now? And this one is called as lower bound.
Lower bound.
Okay. Whenever a set satisfies this condition, is said to be a bounded set. Right? Next, what I want to ask is, if we have already the concept of upper bound and lower bound, then why we were going for suprema and infima, greatest lower bound, least upper bound? Yes? Before going to this definition, is there any necessity that small m and capital M are the members of S?
Yes.
Yes? Whether everyone agree with this?
Yes.
Yes? All the students in the class agree with this, that the bounds must be the elements of the set S. Okay? Let me give you one example. I have taken a set 1, 2, 3. Okay? Now, small m I will select 0. Capital M I will select 4. Can I write 0 less than or equals to X less than or equals to 4 for all the elements in my set? Yes. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it is. Therefore, whether these two elements, small m and capital M, are the members of set?
No.
No. But it is not essential. Now here I can write small m as 1 also, capital M as 3 also.
3.
Still we satisfy the condition, na? Therefore the set is bounded. Therefore small m and capital M are not necessarily members of the set S. I can give you one more example. Suppose we have an open interval 1, 2. Okay. What is the meaning of open interval?
One and two not belongs to that set.
Yes, these endpoints 1, 2 are not the members of the set. Now tell me whether the set is bounded. Whether the set is bounded. Whether the set is finite or infinite.
Finite.
This is finite. Open interval 1, 2. Finite or infinite?
Infinite.
Yes, it is infinite. Now the next question is whether it is bounded. Bounded आहे का हा set? You try to give the answers. Don't worry, don't think about whether it is right or wrong. I am there to justify, right? It is bounded or not? What do you think?
Bounded.
Bounded. What is the value of small m?
One.
Can I write small m as 1? Capital M as 2?
Two.
All the elements of this set lies between 1 to 2, na?
Yes.
Strictly less I have to write.
Yes, ma'am.
Strictly less I have to write. 1 less than, x less than 2. Right now? Therefore, the set is bounded surely. But the lower bound and the upper bound are not the elements of the given set. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Therefore, the set is infinite and bounded where the bounds, lower bound and upper bound is not the member. What do you think about uniqueness? Unique or not? Yes, students. Unique असतात की नहीं है? Bounds. Here only I have shown you, no. M can be 0, 4, 1s. Or I can take 1, 3 also. Or, can you tell me other options? Can I take M minus 1? Capital M as 5. Up to, how many times I can write this?
Infinite.
Am I audible? आवाज येतोय माझा? Good.
Yes, ma'am.
Therefore, the bounds are not unique. The upper bound and lower bounds are not unique. Right now? Now, the another definition of bounded set we can write like this. Bounded set, if mod x is less than or equals to capital M for all x in the set, yes, then also the set is said to be bounded. Now, I think you are familiar with this definition. Mod x less than or equals to capital M, right? Whenever I am writing mod x less than or equals to M, what is the meaning? X lies between minus M to plus M. Correct now? Then the set is said to be bounded. Set is said to be bounded. Okay. Now it comes to the next concept of supremum and infimum. Okay. As the bounds are not unique, upper bound, lower bound, they may be different. Therefore, here the concept comes with suprema. What is the meaning of suprema? This is least upper bound. Correct now? What is infima? This is greatest lower bound. Let us try to understand what is the suprema and infima is. For this purpose, let me draw one line. I will show you this by taking one example. Say again, I will take open interval 1 to 2. Open interval 1 to 2. Okay. Now tell me the upper bounds. What are the upper bounds of the set? May I say all the elements, including 2 and onwards, are the upper bounds. Right now? Therefore, set I can write. Set of upper bounds. Is it closed to open infinity? Right now, upper bound is 2. And all the elements after 2 will also work as an upper bound. What for lower bound? What is the set of lower bounds? Yes?
Minus infinity 1.
Including 1, 2. Very good. Very good. Open minus infinity to closed 1. These are the bounds. If you observe very carefully, this set of upper bounds is bounded below. Correct? To this side it is bounded, no? Bounded below. And what for a set of lower bounds? This is bounded above. Right now? Now, if the set is bounded below, which element I can find? Whether I can find least element or greatest element? What is least and greatest? Actually, I should start with least and greatest before bounded or unbounded below. Here I will write. What is the least element? Least means small element of the given set. No? What is greatest element? Big element. Right? For example, if I write a set 1, 2, 3, what is the least element? 1. Greatest element is 3. But can you apply the same concepts to all the sets? Suppose open interval 1 to 2. Can you tell me the least element and greatest element in open interval 1 to? Which is the least element in this open interval 1 to? Can we find the least element and greatest element? No, it is not possible to find, right? No? That's why the next concept arises with bounded below, bounded above. Okay. Now we were again moving towards a third concept of supremum and infimum. Therefore, as the set of upper bounds is bounded below, which is a closed bounded, or it is bounded to one side. Therefore, one can find out the least element. Therefore, least exists. Least exists here. And here, can I say greatest exists? Right. Therefore, among all the upper bounds of the set, if I want to find out the unique upper bound, then we will go to find out least among all the upper bounds. Therefore, it is least upper bound. That is LUB, that is supremum. Okay? Getting me or not? Similarly, for the set of lower bound, as the set is bounded above, that is closed with this end, therefore greatest element exists. Therefore, we are finding greatest lower bound. That is GLB, which is also called as infimum. Okay, understood? Why to find least of all upper bounds? Why to find greatest of all lower bounds? Therefore, whatever the two concepts we have studied, least element and greatest element, is not applicable to all kind of sets. Then the next concept comes with upper bound and lower bound. Okay. Again, these two values are not unique. That's why next generalization was made suprema and infima. Therefore, this was actually a research in mathematics. Okay. One cannot find out least and greatest to every set. Then the next generalization was made to be upper bound and lower bound. One more generalization is made as suprema and infima. Any difficulty up to this for LUB and GLB? Bounded set, suprema, infima. If you have the difficulty, you can ask me. लक्षात येते का मी काय सांगण्याचा प्रयत्न करतेय? मॅथमेटिक्स मध्ये हे एक्सटेन्शन्स का आले आणि कसे येत गेले हे जर आपल्याला एकदा समजलं व्यवस्थित तर मग आपल्याला मॅथमॅटिक्स आवडायला लागतं. There is no other subject beautiful than mathematics, but provided with one condition, you should understand. समजलं पाहिजे आपल्याला. ओके, समजलं का? हे जायचं का पुढं?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Good. Okay, is the way of explanation okay to everyone, or should I change? Okay, let us go to next definition, neighborhood of a point. Yes, neighborhood of a point. Can anyone tell me what is the neighborhood? What is the meaning of neighborhood in Marathi?
Shebari.
शेजार. शेजार नाही का? Now here what you want to find out? You want to find out the neighbors of a point. Suppose I am on the real line. Okay, this is R1 space, real line, and here is the point. Who are the neighbors of this point X? May I say some elements on the right side, some elements on the left side are the neighbors? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Therefore, what I will do? I will put an open interval here I. Okay. Therefore, I can write X is in the interval I. Interval I is a subset of real number, and this interval I works as neighborhood. I will write a shortcut, neighborhood. Okay. Now, suppose we are in the two-dimensional plane. Now the point is here. Now tell me the neighborhood. What will be the neighborhood in this case? May I say all the points besides this point, right now? All these works as the neighbors, right now? In which plane we are? We are in R2 now. Okay. So if this is my element X, correct? This is my element X. Then there exists a open disk. See, here it is interval. Here it is interval. Here it is open disk. Therefore, one can write this as O, and which is a subset of R2. And this will be neighborhood. Okay. Let us come in three-dimensional space. Now here is my point. Now tell me the neighborhood. What will be the neighborhood? I'm not going towards the mathematical definition yet. I just want to make you understand the meaning of the word neighborhood, right? Okay. What is the neighborhood here in three-dimensional space? R3.
Open sphere.
Yes,
Sphere.
it is sphere. Very
Open
good.
sphere.
Yes, it is open sphere. Okay. This is open sphere. Now what about the neighborhood in the next spaces? R4, R5 and onwards. So the neighborhoods we are writing as an open ball. Open ball around the point. Right now? Open ball around the point. Actually, whole universe is covered in this three-dimensional space. Agree with me or not? Whole universe we can measure in the three-dimensional space. But there are some facts at which we want to go for 4 dimensions, 5 dimensions, n dimensions rather. Right now, there are few functions which depends on many variables. At that time, it is essential to make the function of many variables, and then there is essential then there is necessary to construct the n-dimensional space as well. Therefore, for all the spaces from R4 and above, we were writing this as an open ball. Okay? This is what a concept of neighborhood is. Now let me write the definition. What is the definition in mathematics for the neighborhood? A set n contained in R. Actually, as we were studying real analysis, therefore we were discussing about real spaces only. R is called neighborhood of a point A if there
There
exists.
exists an open interval
Very good.
containing A and contains in N.
Open interval I such that, what such that A contained in I contained in N. Then this is called as neighborhood. This is also a neighborhood actually. Okay. Now shall I ask you the examples of neighborhood? What about a real line? Whether the set of all real number works as the neighborhood of its points or not. Whole real line I am showing you here. And if x is an arbitrary point. Okay. If x is any arbitrary point, let me mark some open interval around it. Therefore, x is in I is in R. Therefore, may I say this real numbers is the neighborhood of each of its point. The set R is neighborhood of each of its points. Okay. What for rational numbers? Whether rational set of all rational number is the neighborhood of its points. Yes, students.
Integer.
No, first we'll discuss for rationals. Whether integers is the neighborhood. Z you are saying no? Whether Z is the neighborhood of each of its points. What is this Z set? 0 plus minus 1 plus minus 2 and all, no? Whether Z is the neighborhood of each of its points. Let me check. This is a real line. Let me mark integer points. Let me find out the neighborhood of any of its points. Let me find the neighborhood of 0. If I put the neighborhood of this point 0 to be like this, whether this interval is a member of your Z. If suppose I am taking open interval say minus 0.5 to plus 0.5 say. Whether it is belonging to Z.
Yes. No, ma'am.
No, it is not. Therefore, Z is not a neighborhood of its points. Not neighborhood of its points. हे बघा कसं झालं माहिती का थोडक्यात आपण समजा हे 0 आहे ना हे आपलं घर आहे ओके आणि त्याच्या शेजारचं एक जे घर आहे त्याला आपण नेबरहूड नाही म्हणणार आहोत पण त्याला शेजार नाही म्हणणार आहोत पण हा जो 1 आहे ना त्याला शेजार म्हणणार आहोत असं करतो का आपण सगळे झाले पाहिजेत ना शेजारचे थोडक्यात असं झालं ओके therefore Z is not the neighborhood of its points. What for rational numbers? Same situation again. Suppose I wanted to find the neighborhood of the point 0. Let me mark a neighborhood here. Again, I will call it as I. Now, what about this interval? Suppose -1 to +1 I am drawing. Whether this interval -1 to 1 is the subset of Q. Whether -1 to 1 has only rational numbers in this interval or irrational is also there. Yes? Whether this is a subset. -1 to 1 is a subset of Q or not. फार अवघड प्रश्न विचारते एखादी स्टुडंट्स. Is the neighborhood we have found. We have to just check whether it is in Q or not. Just to satisfy this condition, no. A is in I is contained in N. I am checking the 0 is in this open interval -1 to 1. I just want to confirm whether this -1 to 1 open interval is a subset of Q or not. I hope I am clearly audible. दोनच ऑप्शन्स आहेत ना तुमच्याकडे. एक तर जो सबसेट आहे, दुसरा नाही आहे.
Yes, आहे.
आहे?
हो मॅम आहे.
हो आहे मॅम.
अच्छा, म्हणजे तुम्हाला असं म्हणायचंय का ओपन इंटरव्हल -1 to 1 मध्ये सगळे रॅशनल नंबरच आहेत, इरॅशनल नाही आहेत एक पण?
नाही मॅम.
आहेत का इरॅशनल?
हो आहेत.
येस मॅम.
मग हा सबसेट कसा होईल? करेक्ट ना? दिस इज नॉट अ सबसेट ऑफ Q. Therefore, Q is not neighborhood of its points. Correct na? Here it is not belongs to, here it is subsets in that. Okay? Let me ask you one more example. Suppose I am giving you an open interval AB. Whether this open interval is AB is neighborhood of each of its points. Yes? Whether this open interval AB is neighborhood of any arbitrary point in this interval. I can plot a small interval around it and no doubt it will be in this open interval AB. Okay. What for the endpoints? Endpoints are not the members of the set. Therefore, no need to check whether this interval is endpoint, is the neighborhood of its endpoints. Therefore, may I say this is neighborhood of each of its points. Though you take a point very close to this boundary, can we plot a small open interval around it so that it becomes a neighborhood? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
And no need to check for A and B. Why? Because A and B does not belongs to the open interval AB. Therefore, I can say clearly that this open interval AB is the neighborhood of each of its points. Same question I will ask for closed interval. Now check for closed interval whether it is neighborhood of each of its points. Now A and B are closed. Let me check for the middle point. Any point in between A and B. X. Let me plot an open interval around AB. Around X, that is I, and it is contained in AB. Therefore, it is the neighborhood of the points in A and B, between A and B. What for the end points A and B? Whether it is neighborhood of this point A, whether this closed interval
No,
AB is neighborhood. Okay, right. Why not?
AB belongs to AB, closed interval.
Yeah, it is belongs to. That's why I am asking. whether this closed interval A to B is the neighborhood of the end points A and B. What one has to do simply, I want to check whether it is the neighborhood for this point A. Let me plot an open interval around A. Let me call it as I1. Now A is in I1 and we have to check simply whether I1 is a subset of this closed interval AB or not. There are few points outside this set also, na? These points. These are not the members of your closed interval AB. Therefore, this I1 is not a subset of AB, right? Therefore,
Yes.
this is not a neighborhood of endpoint A. What for endpoint B also? I2 I will put B. B belongs to the open interval I2. We want to check simply whether I2 is the subset of closed interval AB or not. Whether
No.
I2, no, it is not, surely not. Therefore, I can say AB is neighborhood of each of points open interval AB. Or one can say this is not a neighborhood of endpoints, not neighborhood of its endpoints. Right now? हा सगळ्याच एलिमेंट्सचा नेबरहूड आहे फक्त एंड पॉइंट सोडून. इट्स नॉट अ नेबरहूड ऑफ इट्स एंड पॉइंट्स. समजते सगळ्यांना? One more and last example I will ask, what for the empty set? Whether empty set is neighborhood? What is empty set?
Not containing
Null
any
set,
element.
there is no element, right? Therefore, actually definition says that if there is an element, it has to be a neighborhood.
There is no element.
Therefore I can claim it is the neighborhood of each of its points, right? Next, we will go for the definition number 4th definition. Now I will go for 5th definition. Next definition, interior point. Can anyone tell me what is interior point of a set? Yes, interior point of a set. What is interior point? What is the Marathi meaning of the word interior? Interior. Atil?
Atil.
Right, good. This is Atil. Interior, inside point. We want to just justify whether the point is inside. Okay. Therefore, whichever the set given to us, suppose I have given a subset of real numbers. Okay. And this is the set under the consideration S. Okay. And I want to check whether the point is interior. Interior, it should be an inside point, not on the boundary. Correct now? The point should not be on the boundary. Therefore, just to ensure this, what the definition we will make a definition. A point is said to be an interior point if the small neighborhood around the point is in the same set. That is, if I plot a small neighborhood around this point, then this neighborhood must be in the set. Yes, that is, if I write this as a point A is in some or having some neighborhood open interval, and this I must be a subset of yes. Just to make sure that the point is not a boundary point. Correct now? Boundary वर नको आहे point मला, बरोबर? Boundary वर असेल तर काय होईल? समजा हा boundary आहे आणि याला एक ओपन इंटरवल टाकलं मी, तर ओपन इंटरवल एस मध्ये येतो का? नाही. म्हणून हा जो बाउंड्रीचा पॉइंट आहे तो इंटिरियर नाही आहे, तो बाउंड्री आहे. आतील पॉइंट नाही आहे, बाउंड्रीवरचा आहे, बाहेर पण नाही, बाउंड्रीवर आहे. करेक्ट ना? Correct? Therefore, what is interior point? A point is said to be interior point of the given set if there is a neighborhood around X which is in the same set. Which is in the same set. Let me write definition. A point X is an interior point of the set yes if S is neighborhood of X, or I can write X is an interior point if there exists an open interval AB such that X is contained in this open interval and open interval is a subset of S, like I have written here. Right now? Okay, understood? What is interior? The points which are inside the set, not on the boundary. And just to make sure the point is not on the boundary, we were taking point with its neighborhood should be in the same set, right? If we go in R2 space, if I wanted to go in R2, this is the point X, okay? And this is the set S under the consideration, say S. We are in R2, okay? Now I wanted to check whether this X is an interior point. How should I make sure that this is not boundary? What I will do is, I will plot a small neighborhood around it. And if this neighborhood open disk is in the set, yes, then the point is in the point is called as an interior point. What happens if I select the point on the boundary? Suppose here a point Y I have selected which is on the boundary. However small open disk you draw, however small, जेवढी छोटी काढता येईल तेवढी जर मला काढली नाही तरी ते डिस्क एस मध्ये येते का?
Not.
No. Therefore, this Y is not interior. This Y is not interior. Okay? ओके, याच्यासाठी एक मी छोटं उदाहरण सांगते नेहमी स्टुडंट्सना. समजा वर्ग भरलेला आहे, वर्गात विद्यार्थी बसलेले आहेत, शिक्षक शिकवत आहेत आणि तुम्ही थोडेसे उशिरा येत आहे, तर तुम्ही काय करता हो? दारात उभारून विचारता ना, मे आय कम इन? बरोबर. तुम्ही जेव्हा दारात उभारता म्हणजे कुठे आहात? क्लासच्या बाउंड्रीवर आहात.
Boundary.
तुम्ही क्लासचा भाग आहात का? नाही. मग तुम्हाला जेव्हा येस म्हणून आन्सर येईल टीचर कडून, तेव्हा तुम्ही 2 पावलं जेव्हा आत याल तेव्हा तुम्ही काय होणार? त्या क्लासचा भाग होणार, म्हणजे क्लासच्या आत याल. बरोबर ना? 2 पावलं जेव्हा तुम्ही, समजा आता हा क्लास आहे माझा, इथे डोर आहे, तुम्ही इथे विचारून जर इथे थांबून जर विचारलं तर बाउंड्री. समजा 2 पावलं आत आले, इथे आलो आपण, हा स्टुडंट आहे माझा एक्स, तर मग आता काय करता येईल? मला एक स्मॉल डिस्क काढता येईल याच्या बाजूला. म्हणजे काय झालं? तो विद्यार्थी आत आला, थोडक्यात असा हा कॉन्सेप्ट आहे. लक्षात येते का? इंटिरियर पॉइंट. ओके, हा झाला इंटिरियर पॉइंट. ओके, then what is next definition? Interior. What is interior of a set? What is interior of a set?
The set of interior points of S is called the interior set.
The set of all interior points. Set of all interior points is called interior. Now I will ask you some example. Okay? Now you have to tell me the interiors. Okay? Open interval, open interval AB, tell me all interior points. Interior set. याचे सगळे इंटिरियर पॉइंट्स.
A plus B divided by.
इंटिरियर पॉइंट्स विचारतीये मी. A plus B divided by 2 midpoint काढला की तुम्ही? Right now?
Yes, ma'am.
All the points between A, B, whether these are interior, मधले points, interior आहेत का?
Yes,
तुम्ही
ma'am.
असा मार्क जरी केला तरी तुमच्या लक्षात आलं पाहिजे. हा इंटिरियर आहे का? इंटिरियर आहे का X?
Yes, ma'am. Interior है.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, interior आहे. तुम्ही A आणि B ला चेक करणार का? Not necessary. कारण we have open interval. Okay. Therefore, may I say all the points of this set are interior points. Therefore, what is my interior set? Open interval every? सगळेच ना? All the points between A and B are the interior points.
हाँ मैम.
What for closed interval? Your answer should be ready with you now. Same na? Closed, you have to make closed. Now you have to check for A and B also. Whether A and B are interior points.
No.
Check for A. It goes outside the set. Here also it goes outside the set. Therefore, A and B are not
Interior point.
Therefore, what is my interior set then? May I say open interval again? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is the interior point of natural numbers? N. Natural numbers कशा plot करणार? 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Right now, check for any point. Let me check whether 1 is interior. Let me draw a small open interval around 1. Okay. Whether this open interval is a subset of N?
No, ma'am.
No. Therefore, 1 is not interior. What for 2?
Yes.
What for 3?
Yes.
Yes.
Therefore, no elements are the interior points. Therefore, what is interior set?
Open interval 1 to infinity.
1 to infinity नहीं है ना? Natural numbers interior विचारते. It's empty. No points of the natural numbers are interior. Right now? No points of set of natural number are interior points. Agree? Therefore, interior set is empty. Is that okay? हे समजला का?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Okay. Any difficulty up to this? If you have, you can ask me. I am taking very basic notions. 4-5 definitions we have covered. Okay. Now we'll stop for today. In the next lecture, I'll give you homework today. What is that? What are the definitions that I'm going to discuss? Open set, limit point, closed set, derived set, sequence convergence, series. These many points we will take in the next lecture. If you have the book of any real analysis with you, you just recall those points. Tomorrow I want the textbook definitions for all these points.
Okay, ma'am.
Whether you have difficulties?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then we will stop for today. Thank you for being with me for this lecture.
Thank you.